Thank you very much for joining us for another exciting edition of the Lunchtime Cafe. My name is Marco Kwakozi. Now, this is a program that comes to you every Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays at exactly 12. We start, of course, with our midday news, and then we get into the various segments of this particular program. So on the program today, as usual, fully packed, we are going to be having an interview with a cooperative calling itself Vesco. We'll be getting to understand what this cooperative is all about and what they think about cooperatives in the country. Also, we are going to be looking at some of the stories that we picked for you from a way back, just to remind you of where we are coming from, things that happened on this particular day a few years ago, just to refresh our memories as regards news and where we are coming from as a country. So this is the Lunchtime Cafe on Camnet TV. Remember that we are live on channel 273 on DSTV. We are also live on channel 106 on Topstar and also 25 on GoTV. Those are the platforms you can catch us on. We are also live on our Facebook channel, which is Camnet TV, and not forgetting our YouTube channel, which is also a Camnet TV. So you can catch us on those particular platforms if you do not have access to a TV set. So let's quickly get into it, and we take you back in time just to remind you of some of the stories that used to happen. We call this segment the Forgotten Stories segment. Let's see what we have selected for you today, just to refresh your memories.
In a bid to decongest the bus station in Lusaka and eventually bring about sanity in both stations and markets, Minister of Local Government Mr. Gary Nkombo, during a tour on Monday, has assured bus drivers that more bus terminals to be constructed so as to accommodate those who opt operating outside designated stations. The minister's first stop was at Napsa bus station, where it was the allocated site for construction of a bus station. At the site, Mr. Nkombo addressed the media, saying the space shortage problem is what the new administration aims to solve.
Continuous tour to also check the state of the current bus stops to see why bus drivers are not using those bus stops, and instead they've decided to come and operate in the road.
The minister proceeded to other bus stations where he addressed respective bus station representatives.
The station material now is November kutoka matandiziri wa minister ni ngani ama contravening mloti ya divu tamani kama uti space kuna bezeka ni ngono kama drivers once good pa bezeka yangene mo ya bezeka ya check space check. So still wakuti wangachita dipemba kuti wa minister chitandizire ko
of paying council levies vis-a-vis the persons that are talking about contravening, those who are loading in the street can be brought back to order so that we use the facility the bus stop as it ought to be used. On one hand, to make sure that our commuters are comfortable, the drivers are comfortable, the council also is comfortable to collect the levies that are due to them.
Mr. Nkombo took time to also hear from marketeers' concerns.
Kuti vamene vabwera kumulipirisani ni vaku council. Ndiye chape chamene funa kuti tichenjezani hapo. Vamene vabwera kulipirisa baonekera onkala na receipt, genuine receipt ya ku council. Then kuli vanzatu vamene vali na vo kulisa makwevo kuno vakuti ama machani, mafruti, mamaketia. Na veve mbafake chape muulemu, na veve vambele kumasuka chifukwa vaja vantu voenda, vamafuna ati vati yako something, simamene.
The minister also inspected the Simon Mwea market, whose works are at over 90% completion.
ku city center.
Finally, the minister toured another site owned by private company Sebo Transport, who in partnership with government plans to construct another bus station along Kafiwe Road, Lusaka.
If we manage to put not even a state-of-the-art, but a bus station which is supported by infrastructure for trading, we are going to do a lot of decongestion in this city. And like I said, the whole idea is to replicate such in all the emerging towns, cities in Zambia, so that we can bring order and normalcy on traffic in order to put our citizens away from harm's way. Hopefully, it will also be an anchor for job creation, for entrepreneurship. The people who are going to establish shops here are going to be trading, and there will be a spiral effect on many other, economic development processes.
The minister is therefore optimistic that with the cooperation of all stakeholders, sanity in the country is guaranteed. Alex Shimba, Camnet News, Lusaka.
The Patriotic Front PF party has described the Thanksgiving service for peaceful elections that was held on Sunday as a sham, alleging that it was a political event where the United Party for National Development UPND were playing blame games on the PF and not the Christian event as it was supposed to be. Addressing the media Monday, PF Vice President Mr. Given Lubinda has challenged the UPND to prove to the country that they do not condone violence by ensuring that the political cadres practicing this vice are brought to book. A video has gone viral on social media recently showing alleged UPND cadres whipping a citizen said to be a PF sympathizer.
Zambians are first of all Zambians before they become members of political parties. And after all, how do you know that all PF members voted against you? How would you possibly know? We in the Patriotic Front are still doing our own introspection because we also suspect that some of the members of the PF may have voted against us. And how do you yourself know that whoever is a member of the PF is against you?
Meanwhile, victim of the attack, Mr. Timothy Chikasa, has spoken out on the incident.
kuzingarume kuria nakwena bachiri kachi bali muma futi bamuisha futi bandora kuria kwakanyama kuria kufuma chechi kuyo kutira kuria kuspiri nakwena bali muma.
In airing his views, UPND Deputy Secretary General in charge of politics, Mr. Patrick Mucheleka, has distanced the party from the cadres in the video, stating that they do not belong to the UPND.
And I would want to strongly disassociate UPND from the video that we are talking about. What PF is doing is that among themselves, they could even be stage managing. In any form of harassment, violence. No.
Political tension has been high between the UPND and the PF, which led to the losing of many lives during the just ended general elections. Zipporah Mshala, Camnet News, Lusaka.
Some residents of Mutendera were this afternoon at 15 hours attacked by a mob for putting on PF regalia, hence fearing for their lives. In an interview with Camnet News, the victims have revealed how the attackers undressed them for putting on the regalia. They have since appealed for peace to prevail following the declaration made by the president, Hakainde Hichilema, that Kadarism should completely stop. A woman found putting on a PF chitenge said she's frightened to move freely as she could be the next victim.
My fiance because
One Zambia, one nation. Zambia should continue to remain a peaceful nation. Blessings Chakwila, Camnet News, Lusaka.
Thank you very much. You are still watching the Lunchtime Cafe on Camnet TV, and those were just stories that we thought we could remind you of that happened some few years back. That's a segment that we call the Forgotten Stories, just to refresh our memories so that we just have an idea of where we are coming from. Now, moving on, this segment is called the interview segment, and in the studios with me, I'm very honored to have the Vice Chairperson rather, for VESCO Multi-Purpose, and of course the National Planning and Logistics Chairperson from the same cooperative. And these are Mr. Brian Bwalia and Mr. Godwin Mukonda. Mr. Mukonda and Mr. Bwalia, thank you very much for making it to Camnet TV. Welcome to Lunch Cafe.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
First things first, let's start with you, Vice Chairperson. What prompted you to come up with this particular cooperative, and what really is this cooperative about?
VESCO is a multi-purpose cooperative, which has come to, I think, to help and to improve the life of the people. You realize that in Zambia we've got, the issue of employment challenges. We have got issue to do with sanitation. We've got the issue to do with, I think I'm saying the economy is not doing well, and we think VESCO can play a major role and try to make something different to contribute to the good governance by our President, Mr. Makanda. Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Mukonda, how wide is the coverage for VESCO, and how many members do you have as a cooperative?
Yeah, currently we are a 26 member on the national level. Yeah, but our strategy is to go in each and every province. If God willing, we could go district, constituency, up to the ward. That's how big this cooperative is. So it is not only based in Lusaka. I mean, on national level, we are dotted all over. In each and every part of this country, we are represented. So basically, our move is to spread throughout the country. Yes.
Currently, the 26 members, where are they based? Is it on the Copper Belt? Are they coming from Lusaka and Copper Belt, or where are they based?
Some are from Lusaka, some are from Northern, Copper Belt, Eastern. We are dotted all over. So it carries a national character because we are represented in each and every province of this country.
Okay. So what are your major interests as a cooperative? What major activities are you undertaking?
The major activities that we are undertaking as VESCO, as you know, VESCO stands for vegetable, which is agriculture. We realize that agriculture is we don't take agriculture as something to just we go for consumption. Agriculture is a business, and we're partnering with the small scale farmers through farm sports, and also we also want to educate. Most of the time that the farming product that we maybe will get from Zambia, most of the time is been wasted. We want to do what we call value addition to the crop. For example, from maize, can we do value addition, so that we don't just end on menu. That's something like we need to make feed. Also, you look, there's so many products that we're not producing in Zambia, but we just end on, we don't do value addition. So as Vasco, what we're intending, or what we intend to do, is to make sure that there is so much education, at the same time that we should not stick only to grow of maize, because look at we've got cassava. Cassava, we were able to make beer. Maybe we've got the already market which is there. If people are educated to grow more of cassava, they can be making millions of kwacha. Then we've got mangoes. I think maybe we are going to the season. Mangoes, have been wasted. So we want to see how do we educate our people, and we should take advantage of those crops that we produce from our farms, so that we can grow the economy together. Because not the people are going to bring or to grow the economy. It's not just the government. Actually, we are part of the government, and this is why the president encouraged the people to come up with cooperatives, because in growing the economy, you need everyone. You need user and anyone to participate, to make sure that the economy, we move together as a country. The people who are going to develop Zambia is not just, it's not foreigners. The people going to develop Zambia is us. So the President of the Republic of Zambia has encouraged people to come together to form cooperatives. Like Vasco, we've got, all 9 provinces are presented. And want to make sure that wherever our members are, they set up, the branches for Vasco, so that we identify the crop. For example, say what type of crops are grown maybe in Malore constituency, or what type of crops are grown maybe in Kalomo, what type of crops are grown. So we take advantage of those crops, so that we make up, we grow the economy together, and we move the economy together. At the same time, some of the farmers who have been disadvantaged because of the issue of the climate change. So what type of crops? In short, we're saying Vasco will have its own farming blocks, just like the government has got the farming blocks. So Vasco will have its own farming blocks in each and every province. We're going to identify where the cassava do better. We're going to say, okay, that area, maybe it is maybe in northern province where cassava do better. We're going to have a Vasco a farming block for cassava. If it's for millet, we're going to go for Vasco finger millet farming block. In this way, we are going to encourage people to grow maize, to grow cassava, to grow soybeans, so that after harvesting, then we come we look for the market. At the same time, we do value addition, because there are many things that we get from finger millet. So I think that's it. That is, I think, our aim for Vasco.
Talking about the aim, Mr. Mukonda, we see that Vasco has his vision is very bright. How are you working with the traditional leaders and the farmers themselves in order to ensure that you realize this dream?
Yeah, we are really we are looking forward to work with the traditional leaders, including even the local farmers. Why? Because our vision or our aim as Vesco is to have a farming block in each and every province. So through that, we would prefer to also show a practical part. It is not like we just go there and we tell people what to do, but they should see practically what we are doing on the ground.
Yes.
Yeah. Even when we explain to them, they should see the farm we are running in that province, and it will lead as an example. Even when we do their training and they like to show them what they should do, they should come to our property where we have grown. For example, maybe in Lusaka, we find out to say maybe maize does well here. So which means those farmers, the small scale farmers, would come to our farm and see how practically we are doing it, rather than where I just move and tell someone to say grow maize, which he hasn't seen. So with the traditional leaders, would prefer them to open their doors so that they afford us that opportunity. They give us land, available land, so that we productively work on that land and then improve the lives of the people in that sector. In fact, over the local farmers, we would prefer to assist them, because most of the people, you know, they would prefer to do farming, but unfortunately sometimes these inputs, sometimes they don't get them. Or to the other hand, sometimes most of them, you know, the issue of getting just the documentation of these, for them to form a cooperative, they read, it is easy. Yeah, because most of these cooperatives you find, maybe it is in Kawata constituency, or maybe it is in Lusaka Central, in where it is just located in one place. But with us, we would prefer to spread. Even those who are in local area, typical areas, they can use our brand as Vesco to access, they affiliate themselves to us, and then they work through that as a cooperative, and they access all these amenities which are connected to what? To cooperatives. Yes. So in such a way, I think even the principle of cooperative, it will work even to those people who doesn't have the knowledge of how they can acquire the documentations, how they could go about it. Some of them, they're just hearing a cooperative, they don't know what process takes for them to have that document, for them to have that group. So they will use that document, which we have already done ourselves, and then they are ready to go. So we would prefer to trinkle it up to the last person maybe in the world, to the person who doesn't know what a cooperative is. They will have that document, and that's what we are trying to do.
Just also in addition, already we are in talks with some traditional leaders, like maybe talk of maybe Northern Province. We went and talked with Marore constituency, the chief, our parliament chief Chitimkulu. We are also in talk with the Samba, we have sent our representative to start negotiating, and our members that have gone throughout trying to negotiate for the piece of land. And this thing, I want to promise you that we are going to have, issue of minimum price, the thing of the past, because Vasco this year, 2024. 2023-2024 farming season, Vasco by next year we're going to produce enough maize, we're going to produce enough millet, we're going to produce enough cassava, we're going to produce enough soybeans, so that that gap which we saw, because we have seen Zambia, we don't have to cry for maize. We have got enough water, we have got enough the land in Zambia is so fertile, but what we lack in Zambia, I think we need much of education. People don't have to grow maize just for consumption. People have now to be taught they should grow maize, they should grow soybeans for, in short, I'm saying people should be able to graduate from just being called subsistence farmers to be called commercial farmers. Because how long are they going to be called subsistence farmers? So that's the reason Vasco has come, so that we help our brothers and sisters on farming business, that they should grow more of maize. Because if we have got like the way the government is doing ZNS, they grow enough maize. I'm told even Zambia they want to venture into farming, and that's the way we should go about it. We should not start pointing finger on the government and say, no, the government is not doing well. We are the government. And this is the reason that Vasco has come on the board or on the table or on the shores of Zambian cooperative to make a difference by becoming a practical cooperative. We are appealing to our chiefs throughout Zambia. Sorry, I'm mentioning Ndoni because I come from there. our chiefs in Southern Province. We are appealing to our chiefs all over Zambia. Can you welcome our officers, our representatives, and give us a piece of land so that we have got enough maize, we have got enough soybeans, so that those soybeans won't just be in end up with FRA. Because if we can we can find market for those soybeans inside the market. Look at Botswana. Botswana, their economy depend on the cattle rearing, and those they need the feed from soybeans. So market Zambia, is blessed because it is well located. It's well linked country. We have got market. Look at in this jealousy. They need the main meal. And if we can have enough maize, we automatically will be selling main meal to Congo. Yeah. So Zambia, I think through you have seen the government, and we appreciate the government for delivering the farming input on time. Fertilizer already is in the people's yards. So we want to encourage the government so that we should say bye-bye to the issue of hunger in our country.
You speak very passionately about agriculture, but I know that VESCO is a multi-purpose cooperative. What else does this VESCO look into?
Yeah, we are also into minerals, because Zambia Zambia is well located. It's sitting on minerals, and now we think instead of us just focusing on copper, for many when I'm growing up, we've been hearing about copper, but the other minerals are gold. Already like now, maybe you go to Mpika, the people are getting gold. There must also be a value addition to the minerals that we have in Zambia. We don't have to be selling the raw material. We have to find how do we bring. If the people maybe want to come who need our copper, they should. That's what we're going to. We're looking for the market that the people want to buy our minerals. They should come and set up the plants here in Zambia, and this will be one way of job creation. And we think in that way, even the things will become, the dollars, the money will be within our country. Mm-hmm. Imagine you look at copper. You get a lot of things. We sell it in the material, and it goes out there. Mm-hmm. But we just concentrate on that for years. And we're saying even those small miners, they have to graduate. We are now appealing to the government, this government, to allow those investors who want to come. Even if we are appreciating this money which has been given, I think that's what they put another incentive by telling the miners or the mine owners that they should not sell the copper or those minerals in a low form. They should find a way out. They put it in a finished form so that today you can work up, you can have a phone, which is a cheaper phone, because everything that you have, electronic things are found in Zambia. But because we are using the long channel, that's what I'm saying, we have come in mind to offer us education so that we don't sell copper, copper, we want the Americans to come here, we want the Chinese to come here, so that we work together, and this is our minerals. You talk about cooperatives and how they can a role they can play in developing our economy. How easy or how difficult is it to register a cooperative in Zambia? I think a cooperative in Zambia is very simple. Mm-hmm. It's very simple, but let's identify, like our cooperatives, people they should come and affiliate to us so that we help them. It's very easy, but we have to move as a team. Mm-hmm. We can have a lot of cooperatives, but we have to understand what we want to achieve at the end of the day. As the VESCO, what we want to achieve is job creation. Mm-hmm. And let me just talk about the purpose of these cooperatives. The president saw why, or the reason why we should work together. Look at this issue, the issue of the children of Fine Street. Okay, children of Fine Street, they need a home, they need a father, they need the mother who can help them. But what we've done, we've got cooperatives which are just there without any impact. Vasco is a practical cooperative. So those people want to register their cooperative, they can come through us, then we help them. And it's not just about registering so that it become the NGO for begging money from people. We should be graduate from going to knock on people's doors. We should become practical. When we become practical as Zambia will never be the same. I talked about the street, the children of Fine Street. Those children, how do they survive? How are they going to go about it? The government has come up with a policy where they adopt the children, they take them to national service. And those national service, some of them, they get the skill, but they're not jobs. So if all the cooperatives in Zambia can become practical, we cannot have the children in the street. I don't maybe say I'm content. So if we become practical, automatically those children will have a skill. And at the same time, as Vasco want also to partner with the Drug Enforcement Commission. You know, each and every day there are people who have been arrested for drug abuse. So as Vasco as a cooperative, we want to make sure how do we reduce this congestion, or how do we reduce, the prisons are so crowded. Those are our brothers that are found in those circumstances because they don't have anything to do. So Vasco has come as a bridge between the drug enforcement and the habitation. We want to make those people, we work with drug enforcement to start rehabilitating those people who are addicted to drugs. We start giving them skills. And at the same time, not just giving them the skills, we transform them to become the better people. How are we going to do it as Vasco? For example, if a person is arrested maybe for drug abuse, maybe here in Osaka, then we are going to work with the drug enforcement, that branch maybe in Kalom. And when we take our officers will go and offer education, or we'll go and offer them the skill that they need, or we'll go and offer them, the practical, so that after they serve their sentence, they become practical people. In Zambia, what we need is not a Muzungu. In Zambia, what we need is people to become practical. In Zambia, what we need is to change, even our syllabus in Zambia, I think has made us to become so dependency on foreigners. We feel whatever a white man will say is a bust. Whatever I say as a black person, they're not mad. But this is the thing we're saying, as Vasco, we want to help those people. When they move from the serve sentence, they're able to do something. They're able to make, to make something. They're able to make maybe a table. They're able to do something. And at the same time, we're not just ending there. We are also extending to the correction service. Correction services in Zambia. Most of the time when a person have been arrested, have been maybe in prison, they fail to fit to the community once they say sentence they're done with their sentence. Others they're being victimized. We are sent to the correction service. We have come here. So those are brothers and sisters who were once in prison. After they serve their sentence, we can help them to come and fit in the society. Because mind you, those are brothers who are in prison. They're being taught certain skills, and they fail to sell themselves because they've been victimized either by you or by me. And this is the gap we want to scrap off. At the same time, the formation, I think there have been, let me say, drug abuse by our, they call them junkies. well, we call them, no, there are a lot of junkies. What we are doing as Vasco, we will start now going by province. Want to make sure, want to find out as a district, as a province, how are they doing about the issue of the junkies? It's not, arresting them is not good enough. You arrest them. What are you providing? What solution? So Vasco has come with certain alternatives, certain incentives that when a person, a junkie is arrested, a junkie is not supposed to be taken to prison. A junkie is now supposed to be taken to the rehabilitation center. And this is the campaign we have started, and we're asking the authority, I think, to give us a platform. Arresting these people is not good enough. Let's find something that they can do. There are some people who are calling them junkies. Okay, we should come up with the alternatives. To be a junkie, because people become junkies because they don't have anything to do. They start a lot turning around because they don't have anything to do. What we're asking to the police service, what we're asking the Minister of Home Affairs, let's find an alternative. Come up with the, let me say, reformation centers. Okay, for example, work with the national service. Use the facilities for national service. You don't take them to prison. You don't take them to prison. You take them separately to the national service facilities. In that way, we are going to make those junkies to be useful at the end of the day. But if we take them, we go and lock them, then we're destroying we're just destroying their destiny, their life. They're going, once they go to prison, they're going to, to get some influence, and they think, oh, the way they can survive is being a junkie, and in that way, you are graduating them from being a junkie to become robbers.
Mr. Mkonda, what role can cooperatives play in complementing government efforts as regards economic development?
Yeah. Cooperatives are important to work in collaboration with the government. Why? Because, the cooperatives consist of members who are citizens of a certain country. For example, we are citizens of Zambia. Yeah. So, in most cases, these people who come to maybe to invest, for example, in Zambia, they are coming from their own land and whatever. When they come here, cooperatives are channels through which those guys who are coming can channel their development through our country, or to trickle to people who need it. What I mean is, when these people come into our countries, they have to get connected to cooperatives so that they can channel whatever means of their business they would prefer to do in this country. As a result, we are assisting government. For example, maybe someone would prefer to invest in mining, and they come through our channel. Instead of them starting doing their paperwork, and they sometimes it is tedious. But when they find the system is already in place, whereby they partner with us, and then maybe we go into mining, it will benefit a lot of people. It won't be only us who are in the cooperative, but even those who are outside the cooperative. Because if the mine was to be, if they were to form a mine, for example, they will need manpower. They will need a lot of things. They will need suppliers. They will need, all those people will benefit from there. So as a result, a cooperative, it is a channel through which development will reach even even a furthest person. So in working with government, in short, a cooperative is a very good channel through which development could reach the least person so far. Because we are rooted everywhere, and as a result, if we are contacted, of course, we shall even find a place where we would feel this development should be in this province,
Yeah.
or this development should be in this part of the country. So basically, we are a channel of development. In fact.
Yeah. Just in addition to that, you know, there must be, you know, a deliberate policy where the government say, if you want to come and invest in Zambia, first identify the cooperative.
Yes.
This we ask our parliamentarians. Let's be a deliberate policy, because, as I said, Zambia will not be developed by foreigners. Zambia will be developed by Zambians. So let the government and our parliamentarians come up with a deliberate policy where they say, if you want to come and invest in Zambia, you don't come as the way maybe that company maybe coming from Russia, or coming maybe from another country. They have to come identify each maybe the cooperative share the percentage. You is 50%, 50%. You bring your money, then the cooperative now become the implementer of that business. In that way, we're going to have the money stay in Zambia. Yes. Most of the time, when, for example, I'm sorry to talk about this. You look at ShopLite, look at Spar, look at Pick and Pay. These are they're not owned by Zambians. When they make money, the money that is remaining in Zambia is the money which is for the salaries. Look, imagine even some of these eating places. They buy a chicken, or they buy chicken from their land. They don't buy chicken from Zambia, which means they're destroying the business and they're destroying the economy of our country. So this is, as VASCO, we are appealing to the government, our parliamentarians. I think let's make use of these laws. Let's come up with deliberate laws that if I want to come and invest in Zambia, for example, you talk about a hungry lion. If I were to ask you, sir, where do they get the chicken? Where do they get, is it the other eating place? Where do they get the chicken? They are transporting the chicken from South Africa to Zambia. Is that not one way of destroying the economy of Zambia? It is. There must be, you know, we should not be lenient, because we're talking about the growth of the economy of this country. We should come up with a policy. If you want to come and set up an eating place, before you set up an eating place, if you identified the farm where you'll be getting your chickens, who are your main suppliers in Zambia, not outside Zambia? If that will be a policy and will be the law, automatically Zambia will not struggle with the issue of the dollar. Look at ShopLite. Where do they get most of their crops? They're coming from outside, which is disadvantaging the people, the Zambian farmers. People just end up, maybe they grow groundnuts. If people that are being told, okay, you cooperatives, we want you to improve on the package, your package of the crops, the package of groundnuts. Why should we buy groundnuts from South Africa? Why should we buy milk, our own milk, from abroad? Why should we buy just a mere chicken? Chicken. You buy from outside the country. And I think those laws which allow for our brothers who have come to invest in Zambia, that law is destroying the economy. That law is working against our dollar. If the people, they can say, okay, ShopLite, Pick and Pay, so to mention their names, you start buying from our local farmers. Automatically, if you buy local, you create employment for Zambians. If you buy local, you improve the economy of Zambia. If you buy local, you are going now to improve the economy, and the people will be celebrating and say, oh, this government is working. But we have got laws which is destroying the economy, which is making, I can say it's a daylight globally from our farmers.
Some sections of society say that the cooperative movement is grounds for political mobilization. What do you make of that statement?
VASCO is not it's a non-political organization. VASCO is non-political, and we're working with the government every day. We are ready to work with any government that come in place. But there's been an abuse by other cooperatives. And that's why I'm saying, as we have come as a solution, we have come as a gap, we have come as a bridge between the rich and the poor. We have come to create employment. We have come to make sure that in Zambia we got enough food. We have come so that there must be value addition to the minerals. We have come so that we speak on behalf of a farmer who don't have access to the farming input. So we're not partisan.
Mr. Mukonda, you are a new cooperative, and it's like the cooperative was formed after we heard that CDF will be providing funds to cooperatives. How do you respond to such statements?
Of course, let me say the issue of CDF, where it has been, in fact, even the head of state has been encouraging people to form cooperatives so that they are assisted, or they get a share of the constituency development fund. Yeah. Of course, we might say that's a plus. Because it is an encouragement. If the head of state or the government is encouraging people to come together, so that they work together, because in most cases, these businesses or whatever you do, sometimes they fail because you are just a single-handed person. But when you come together, you have different views, you have different ideas, and when you combine, you achieve your goal. But to just answer your question short, basically, we were not prompted because of CDF, but this idea has been there. Yeah, because we have been working in the background to form up this VESCO cooperative, but to the people, I think it might look to be new, but we have been working on the background. Yeah, but then the issue of CDF, of course, even us, it is a plus, because we see that we will be supported. So basically, what we need is support from everyone.
Do you feel that getting support from government will make cooperatives or the cooperative movement to be vulnerable?
I don't think so. Why? Because as a cooperative, what we believe in is we are partners in development. We are partners. We are equal partners. Even when the government would prefer to assist us, we should be partners. Where we sit on the table and we chat forward. They can't dictate to us what we should do. But even us, we should put something on the table to say, the way we would prefer to do is this, and then we reach a consensus. So in short, we can't be compromised, but the only thing is we work with the government of the day. As a result, we are a channel of development. Yes, that's our goal as a cooperative.
Mr. Bwadia, there are over 20,000 cooperatives in Zambia as we speak. How different is VESCO?
VESCO is different because it's practical. We are very practical. We are practical because we're not waiting for funding. We are a practical and we are action cooperative. The cooperatives which have been there and which have been abused, have abused the little resources that has come on their board. As we want to extend, like if you look at the main plan that we have, already the month in October, we are visiting some orphanages in Osaka. Month end of the October, November, we will now be doing ground ceremony where we want now to launch a farm in Samba. So we're not a cooperative for begging. We're a cooperative for practicals. And in Zambia, as I said, we lack practical. In Zambia, we're good to speak, but we're very poor in implementing. So we are very different because we are a practical cooperative. And the members that we have dotted across the country, these are on the ground. I'm able to report to you that even as we are talking right now, the land in Northern Province have been found. I'm able to report to you that I was speaking to somebody in Southern Province, in Kaloma, a farm have been identified. So we are not just a cooperative on the paper. We're a practical cooperative, and just invite us next year. We'll invite you that we're going to have this interview on our shed as a cooperative, because most of these cooperatives, which have been existing for some time, are just been there to raise money, and they share the money among themselves. But I want to reach the people. Look at I want to because so much. I'm so passionate about the children of Farming Street. Those cooperatives have been there for some time. What have they done on those people? Surely we cannot just be waiting for the government to come and take those children. There are so many orphanages, people have set up orphanages. Those cooperatives would have come on the board, not just to supply them with food product, but also try to offer education. Now you have seen the government using through CDF. They have come up with the survival skills, and that's the direction we should all embrace. If survival skills, yes sir, you are the journalist, but you should have, you should know how to handle the hammer. You should know how to handle the chisel. You should be able to know how to make how to build the simple, maybe the chicken line. In short, we should embrace, and as Mr. Mukwana said, we should work with this government because there's a government will in terms of survival skills. The government is encouraging each and everyone. I think that time was the president was at Shogram, where he talked about everyone should have at least a farm somewhere. In that way, is encouraging people to go in farming. Botswana don't have copper, but they just okay? They're just into farming. When we embrace farming, the economy will change. When we change certain policy, it's not fair. I want to repeat this. It's not fair by ShopRite, by pay to be buying, to be getting the chicken from all the way from South Africa to Zambia, and we start even consuming those things. And Zambia, we are not a consuming country. Zambia is not where people should be. There should be debate policy. I want to appeal if the minister, the MP, those who are privileged to go to be in the parliament, please change this policy. This policy is killing us. In Zambia, we've got enough farmers who can supply chickens. I don't know if you have ever tasted supu ya mbuzi. Supu ya mbuzi is not coming from South Africa. Supu ya mbuzi is coming from Southern Province. If we can encourage, and this is the way we want to partner with our people in Southern Province to have more goats, so that when you want supu ya mbuzi, you don't have to struggle. Look at I don't know if you have visited the Chilanga Molilo. Those chickens from Chilanga Molilo are coming from our own people. And this is the thing we're saying, is it Hungry Lion? Hungry Lion should be investigated. Why are they buying? Why are they bringing their chickens from outside Zambia? Because that is against the policy of this country. They should find out why are they? Are we saying we don't have those chickens from South Africa better than our chickens? I want to find out from sir. Those chickens from South Africa, are they better than our chickens? After our own chickens, they don't have to be going through that process. Those chickens are very fresh. If you go to Chilanga Molilo, share maybe one of this one day when I come for another interview, I will bring the chicken from Chilanga Molilo and the chicken from from Anglia. They taste very good because buy local, and Vaso was saying we should buy local, and local is what? Local is laka. That's what I want.
As we come to the end of this interview, Mr. Bwalia, what are your concluding remarks?
My concluding remarks, all I'm asking, buy local, local is what? Laka. That should be the aim of every Zambian. Our parliament, let's come up to the policy. If we allow our brothers and sisters from outside, mind you, if we buy from South Africa, if we buy from Kenya, if we buy from any other country, automatically we are developing that country. We're not developing our country. No matter how many jobs the people they may create, as long as it's not local, it's destroying our economy. So our doors for Vasquez are open, and we very soon will be launching our ground ceremony for our farm in Samba.
Mr. Mukonda, your concluding remarks as we come to the end of the interview.
Yeah, thank you very much. In fact, we are very grateful that you gave us the platform, and let's hope this is the beginning and it shouldn't be the end.
We are coming again.
You call us again.
Sure.
As we go ahead. Yeah. Basically, I encourage people throughout the country, even those who have lost the hope in cooperatives and the like. Maybe they feel cooperatives don't work. They don't operate as they are supposed to be. Our doors are very open.
Very open.
No wonder why our character is we are dotted throughout the country. Yeah, even our national level, we are all over the whole country. In all provinces, we are represented. So our doors are open, and it's our prayer that everyone should open up, join us, as we join as a team. You know, when you are together, we work as a team, you achieve your goal. But when you are divided or you are single-handed, you can't achieve your goal. So please, all of you who are watching us, join the wagon.
The wagon.
So
our chiefs, also our chiefs.
Yes.
Our chiefs, please open our doors.
Open the doors,
yes.
so that we work together.
We have been talking to Mr. Brian Bwalia, who is the Vice Chairperson for Vesco Multipurpose Cooperative, and Mr. Godwin Mukonda, who is the National Planning and Logistics Chairperson, also from Vesco, and we were discussing issues surrounding cooperatives in the country, and of course Vesco and what they are doing to try and empower farmers and miners in the country. On that note, we come to the end of today's Lunchtime Cafe. Don't forget to join us again tomorrow as we bring to you another educative program. On behalf of the entire production team, have a blessed afternoon.